1. So you're a sales clerk working on commission. That's respectable, admirable even. Lord knows it takes hustle to earn that paycheck. More power to you. You are a powerhouse. But wait, what's this? A customer approaches. But not just any customer. Well, technically, not yet even a customer. They've got something in their arms, but they don't want it now. They need to think about it. They need to ask their mother for an opinion. They left their wallet in the car. They'd like to shop the rest of the mall first, and then return to you at the end of the day. Don't worry, though. They parked in the ramp connected to your store, so they're guaranteed to swing through again. What do? You're technically not allowed to put items on hold. Against company policy, they say. Everyone does it, though. Even the managers that make that claim. Exceptions are made for clients you know or have a good feeling about. Plus, this person seems so excited about the item. Surely holding it for them this time would be fine. Especially if you let them know that you're technically not supposed to do holds. But you'll make an exception for them. The gratitude! You can see it on their faces, plain as day. They feel special. Important. They go about their business. And you tuck it away and mark it as on hold. You feel good, you feel positive. You finally made a sale today, in the future though it may be. And the ever-present stress of sell, sell, sell eases off of your shoulders just slightly. You breathe. Unbeknownst to you, someone slips through your department during the minute you're in the back, on a mission for this exact item. They don't find it and leave dejected. You re-emerge onto the floor, a renewed confidence in your step. No one else asks you to put anything on hold. Better than that. You make some sales. Something your eyes unavoidably miss, though, the co-worker working order fulfillment in the back, searching for the very item you've put on hold. On their screen, it shows that your store has only one in stock, and neither able to find it on the floor nor in the back, they're forced to reject the request. This person has already paid for the item through online ordering, but alas, if it's not there, then it's not there. They'll get their refund if no other stores end up having it in stock either. An hour passes, then 2. Your shift is nearing its end, and the sun has long since set. The store itself is subtly shifting into end-of-day mode, and you begin to have doubts. Another hour passes. The store begins to close. A personal stylist swans their way up to your cash wrap, asking if you've seen a specific item. Well, yes, actually. It's the one you put on hold. They glide into the back after it, and then whisk it away, destining it to a fitting room for tomorrow, where it will accessorize a curve-fitting Max Mars suit and sleek Manolo Blahnik heels. It's just as well, you think. She'll be the one most likely to make the sale anyway. True enough, you never see the customer from earlier again. The next day, a repeat with subtle changes. Another customer, except this time she'll be back in 10 minutes. You kindly and regretfully inform her that you're not allowed to put anything on hold. She's taken aback. She's a regular customer, she tells you. And she's put things on hold before. Recently, even. You fully believe this and delicately explain that the policies have changed. You apologize profusely for it. She is very startled by this newfound knowledge. She buys her $15 hair clips, of which we have over a dozen, and are at no risk of selling out in 10 minutes, and then leaves. The next day, a repeat with more significant changes. Someone wants to buy one of the few designer pieces you have in your department. A Burberry specifically, more than that, actually a thick, heavy Burberry cape that is, in your store, one of a kind. It's priced at over $1,600. It alone will max out your sales numbers for the day, and you succumb once again, agreeing to put it on hold. This woman is waiting for feedback from a friend. It's an investment, and she needs a second opinion. Understandable. Surprisingly, she does come back later. Even more surprising, she's in. She wants it. One snag, though. You freeze, dread and resignation rising in equal measure, and immediately stop the transaction. A literal snag, going straight up the back a solid 6 inches. You point it out to the customer, and her jaw drops. She is incredibly grateful to you for spotting this. An idea does occur to you, though. You have an amazing alterations department. You can't make any promises, but they frequently work miracles, and it's possible that they'll be able to fix the snag. Spoiler. They are, and they do. She comes back an hour later, and imperfections vanished. She buys it. You're floating for the rest of the day. From both the praise your service received and the reprieve from the cell that's scorched into the deepest recesses of your mind. That's never been your focus. You've never cared about the numbers, and my God, this is a relief. 2 days later, a co-worker from a neighboring department sheepishly walks over. She's your friend, and you told her about your dramatic sale. It turns out that someone had come over to do a return with her just minutes before, and she, of course, was tasked with bringing the item back to its correct department. She hands you your beautifully mended Burberry cape. Your heart sinks. You don't put things on hold anymore. 2. Backstory. I, a male, had just gotten off work the same day I got my name tag, after being hired at a company that uses red letters in their employee IDs. I had decided to stop by the closest red dot and a red circle store near where I live to browse the women's underwear section, as a friend of mine is extremely self-conscious about bra shopping due to being short and busty. In terms of appearance, think like a real-life Hana Uzaki from the Uzaki-chan wands to hang out manga and anime, in that she's an H-cup under 5 feet tall. She can't afford the perfect fit specialty store prices, so she settles for the passable fit retail prices, and really doesn't like it when her friends spend money on the former as gifts, hence why I'm shopping at the Red Dot store representing the latter. I decided to do her a solid and buy a couple bras for her at the aforementioned Red Dot and a Circle store. Some might find it unusual that a guy would buy something like that for someone that wasn't their wife or girlfriend, but I didn't care about such things as she'd helped me through a lot. I'd have gone to an adult specialty store for some toys without hesitation if she so asked. Anyways, after doing a little size conversion using the 2-inch by 1 cup size rule, I start browsing through the ones that should possibly fit her, all the while untangling the bras from each other and putting back the ones that I knew wouldn't possibly fit her. I didn't realize it at the time, but I guess I must have looked like an employee organizing the ladies section. That's when I heard it, the Fran Drescher style of nasal voice tones that they are known for.
Excuse me.
I'm still holding a couple of bras on hangers. I turn to face her. Oh, sorry, hold on. I scoot to the side a little as I turn to face Karen, thinking she wanted to look at the section I was standing in front of. And yes, she looked like the stereotypical middle-aged white Karen.
I need you to help me find the random brand of canned food. I just looked there and I couldn't find it.
I was confused because, like most other Red Dot and a Red Circle stores I've been at, the ladies section and the food section were on the opposite ends of the store. Furthermore, I saw a lot of employees outstocking shelves before heading to the ladies section. That meant Karen would have had to pass several employees before getting to me.
Are you effing stupid?
She really did say it that way.
I said, are you effing stupid? God, this is such terrible customer service. No wonder this country is going down the shithole because of you millennials not willing to put in the effort for your job. Now get me those cans of food or I'll get your manager.
It was at that moment that I realized I was in an I don't work here ladies situation. The lady was rude, but I decided not to be too bothered by it, thinking maybe she had a bad day, and that she would understand if I explained myself. That was my mistake. I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't work here.
Bullcrap, you obviously do. You're dressed like all the other damn lazy millennials that work here, and you have a red name tag like them.
I was in no way dressed like a Red Dot and a Red Circle store employee. They had bright red polo shirts and khaki pants. I was wearing a yellow polo shirt with green and purple stripes and black dress pants. And yes, the IDs were in red, but mine was a rectangle like normal debit cards and not this chain's traditional long oval shape. Look, ma'am, I don't... She interrupts me and starts spewing an anti-millennial tirade, and that she's going to have my job. At that moment, another woman in her late 20s to early 30s, actually wearing the uniform of the Red Dot and Red Circle store, walked up to us before Karen could get very far in her rant. "Excuse me, I'm SM, the store manager for this location. I happened to be walking by when I overheard the yelling. What seems to be the problem?" Cue typical Karen behavior rant of making herself look like the victim by saying I was a rude employee that was insulting a loyal customer for asking for help and I should be fired. SM looks at me, then at herself, I guess to make sure there wasn't some dress code change she didn't know about, then back to me, and finally she turns to face to Karen. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I've never seen this person before in my life. He absolutely doesn't work here. I can't allow customers to harass anyone in my store." The Karen turns red and starts to stutter, but for the sake of saving face, she has another idea pop in her head.
"Well, then, he was still playing around with the ladies' bras like a sick pervert. He should at least get kicked out of the store for that."
"Were you doing as she said?" "No, I wasn't. I was looking at bras for a self-conscious friend of mine. Some of these were tangled with each other, so I had to pull them apart to get a better look. I absolutely wasn't playing with them like a pervert." "Oh, I understand. I have a friend like that too."
"He's lying. He was totally playing with them like some sick pervert. I want him kicked out of the store now."
"Ma'am, I can't allow you to harass other customers. I'm going to have to ask you to leave."
"No, he's the one that should be kicked out."
She points to me.
"Not me."
"Ma'am, if you don't leave, I'll be forced to call the police and have you escorted out."
"Fine."
Karen drops the bag she was carrying and storms off to the nearby exit. Just when she was about to walk through the door, she turns around and says,
"I'll report you to the corporate. A manager shouldn't be covering for some sick pervert, let alone hire him in the first place."
After that, she finally leaves to go to wherever Karens go. The store manager offered to let me use her manager discount as an apology for the inconvenience, but I turned her down as it wasn't her fault, bought my friend her new bras and left for home. Sorry it doesn't end with a fight, cops being called, or any of the more exciting endings seen in other stories, but this one I definitely will never forget. 3. I'm a 20-year-old female working at a popular arts and crafts store. I'm a full-time manager and I've been with the company for about 2.5 years. This event takes place 3 weeks ago. A lot of people are buying things online due to the coronavirus, and our store has seen an increase in online sales, and also, surprisingly, a lot of foot traffic in the store. When it comes to merchandise, the counts on them don't change until the next day, meaning if an item is showing 3 on hand for that day, and a customer buys them, it may let a customer still buy it online, or it will show online that we still have them as the system changes the next day. We've encountered a lot of problems where customers come in looking for items we're all out, or we have to cancel items in an online order because the customer bought the item first or the count was wrong for some other reason. Going back to the incident, it was about noon and I was close to taking my lunch. I was putting away online orders that I had just filled when my cashier asked me to take the phone call that had just come in. She yells the entire conversation.
"I need the name of your district manager and his phone number."
"I'm sorry, but I can't give you that information, but how can I help you today?"
"I've had enough of your store. I need the number of your district manager now. I'm calling the Attorney General's office too."
"Ma'am, like I said, I'm not allowed to give you that information. What seems to be the problem?"
"I'm tired of calling the corporate number. I keep getting put on hold for 10 minutes by these foreign people, and I've had it. I bought yarn on sale and for some reason I didn't get it. I was told I'd get the money back for the one missing, and I haven't got it yet. It was last week."
"I'm sorry you haven't gotten it yet. Usually it takes a few days to a week to get the money back in your—"
"That little black boy,"
"Yeah, she said that, my associate, who's also a manager,
"told me I'd get it back in my account at the end of the week, so he lied to me."
"I'm sorry about that."
"I mean, how can you lie to your customers? This is ridiculous."
"Can I explain to you what happens when we decline an item?"
"Sure."
I explained the whole process from before. And usually with a sale that's buy one get one free, at least at the registers, it'll give you back half the price if you only return one item. We don't have much to do with the online system other than filling the orders, but you should get the money back soon."
"So he lied to me. You're lying to me now."
I try to cut her off because I'm over the screaming. My voice is also starting to shake because of the yelling tone and her voice was overwhelming. Ma'am, he didn't lie to me.
Excuse me, I am talking. I'm tired of talking to these foreign people. I'm tired of you people being a pain. And you know, it's only $4.99 yarn, but when you piss me off, you piss me off.
I'm actually shaking now. I'm sorry, ma'am. If you want to come in, we can give you a refund through the register, or you can just wait a few days. Can I have your information so I can pass it along to my store manager? She gives me her info.
You people are useless.
She hangs up the phone. The conversation is ended, and I'm starting to cry. My cashier is asking if I'm okay. I just start walking to the office and alert my associates over the headset that I'll be in the office calling our district manager because some lady screamed at me, and I'm not sure how far this racist will be taking this. My DM didn't answer, so I called my store manager. I gave him her name and number, and he ended up calling her. After that, I took my lunch and my DM got back to me. He calmed me down and said he'd handle it if it got to them. The store manager called me back after to tell me how awful she was, and apparently the sale she told me was wrong. They weren't buy one get one free, they were buy one get two free. Why would you get money back on an item that's free, especially when you got another one that's free? I don't think she's come in, and my store sent her a gift card for her troubles. Which I didn't agree with, but he's great at customer service, and I think he just wanted the whole thing to be over. I don't understand why people have to be like this. Please be kind. Thank you for listening. 4. From 6:30 a.m. until about 10:30, I was by myself in the kitchen, which was usually fine. Breakfast is easy. I had an opening car hop, and she usually got help around 8:30 to 9, and then I got one cook to help set up for lunch at 10:30. And then the rest of our crew would show up at 11 for lunch. I need to emphasize again that breakfast is super easy, until the order screen fills up or we have that one asshole that starts the trend of ordering from the regular menu. By no means was the regular menu difficult, but when you have the equipment that doesn't work half the time, mainly my hot dog roller or my steam table for the chili, or fuck me, the 3 months I was out 1/3 of my grill. But breakfast and lunch at the same time sucks, especially when you're alone. Also, I wasn't allowed to hold any product until 10:45, when we started getting set for lunch. Not even a few patties for that order of 2 double cheeseburgers I know were coming, because the day I did it the owner decided to drop by, bitch me out for holding them, and throwing them away after I had literally just pulled them off the grill. Anyway, it was a typically semi-busy day. My car hops were busting their asses, running around like crazy, and I was in a groove. Then it started. I hear,
6 boneless.
They'd mute their headsets and give me a heads up, because the sandwich screen only shows sandwiches and not the shit show of sides and hot dogs going on behind me. Okay, cool. That's 8 minutes to get other shit done while they're cooking. The whole time the wings are cooking, my screens are filling up because now everyone wants breakfast. Next thing I hear 2 doubles, 1 crispy and a foot long. Fuck. So it begins. Tell them it's probably going to take 10 to 15 minutes since they can't order breakfast. I'd always make my car hops give the customer a warning towards them being pissed off for ordering lunch in the middle of breakfast rush, and usually they were cool. A few more hot dog orders that I'm having to cook on the grill because of my crappy roller. So now the grill has burgers, toast, eggs, sausage. I could hold that, I just ran out. Hot dogs on it, and a grill pan of chili taking up space in my fryer because of the steamer. This whole time I'm somehow keeping it up, and my time doesn't completely suck. It's not 2 minutes 30, more like 5 or 6, but it's not 10 minutes, and I look at the clock. Sweet, I got help in 30. And then shit hits the fucking fan. It got busy really fast. I have orders doubled up at the bagging station, and on the trays waiting to go out. I was usually my own bagger, and my car hops were getting hit with a crapload of drink orders. Look at the clock, and 10 minutes still help. Now the lunch orders are coming. I figured screw it, close enough to drop a tray of burgers and get a basket each of fries and tots. Then 1 ultimate and kiss chicken strip. Cool, tell them at least 20, I can't even see their order. That's how busy I got. I keep pushing orders out and get a free fryer to get the ultimate down, and then I see my help walk in. Then I hear honking and look at my car hop, and she turns and says, "It's the ultimate guy, he was yelling at me when I was coming back from taking an order out." It's been like 10 minutes, but okay. And that becomes a new normal. She takes an order out and he honks and yells, occasionally throwing his arms up. Can you talk to him? I told him you have a bunch of orders before his and he yelled at me. Yeah, sure. Let's slow the process even more. Taking my apron off and heading to the side door. My help was great doing backup, but not strong with sandwiches. As I was walking up to the car, I noticed a little boy probably no older than 4 or 5, so I think maybe he has a cranky kid, and that's why he's being impatient.
What the fuck is taking so long?
Alright, not the kid. Sir, my car hop told you that it could take about 20 minutes because you ordered from the lunch menu in the middle of my breakfast rush.
I don't give a shit. I've seen cars that came after me that got their food and cars behind me in the drive-thru that got their food. I want my food.
Slamming his hands on the steering wheel. Yes, because you ordered from the lunch menu. And not only that, you ordered the one thing that takes the longest to cook in the ultimate chicken. I'm making all of the orders on my screens and we're getting them out as quick as we can. So not everyone is waiting. Your chicken just went down, and now that I'm out here talking to you, it's taking longer for you and everybody else to get their sandwiches because I'm not making them. And honestly, I just hope my burgers aren't burning right now. I'd appreciate you not yelling at my car hops for doing the jobs also. I noticed that struck a nerve.
Well, why the hell don't you have lunch stuff already? It's almost lunchtime.
Because it's breakfast until 11, and I don't start holding lunch stuff until about 10:45. I fucked up and didn't realize what time it was.
It's fucking 10:45 now. So why don't you have anything? I want my food.
Obviously he thinks he's got me. I'm starting to lose my cool. Well, I'm out here wasting my time talking to you, so I don't know how you expect me to start making stuff for lunch. Or at all, being out here. I've noticed my car hop's taking orders out, so I can only hope subpar sandwiches are at least leaving the kitchen.
I want my food. Give me my food.
Continuously slamming his hands on the steering wheel. So, can I go make it then?
I want my food.
Great, I'm gonna go make it then. I got back inside, look at my screens, and my time that went to hell. 10 plus. Not horrible given the circumstances, but my help is struggling. So I figure out where we're at and ask about the ultimate. But he had to put it back down for a few minutes. You serve undercooked chicken, you lose your job. Pump some more orders out while I'm waiting, and Mantram finally gets to the drive-thru window, and is predictably a dick to my car hop and pays. I make the sandwich and finish bagging the order. Drive. You're doing it. So I go to take his order to him as it's finally 11, and my GM and the rest of the crew are walking in. I apologize for the wait. Be careful, your chicken is hot. It had just come out of the fryer.
You should be sorry. It should have fucking taken so long.
Sir, I explained why it took so long, and honestly, you would have had it sooner had I been able to make it sooner. He curses at me and demands his money back. Whatever. I set his food down because I didn't get to hand it to him yet and walk towards the kitchen. My GM notices the rage in my face. What the hell was that? I've lost all cool at this point. He wants his money back. You deal with it, because if I do, he's going through the window, and don't give him that fucking food. GM goes to the window, proceeds to be yelled at, explains why his food took so long after understanding the situation, and gives him his money back, and he peels off, yelling and flipping off my GM the bird as she takes the sandwich and throws it away. That's why I loved working with her. She put up with less crap than I did. I felt bad that the kid didn't get his food, and that he had to sit through that, though. You need a hug? Just leave me the fuck alone for like 10 minutes. Being the wonderful crew that they were, they did not leave me the fuck alone, but I felt less homicidal, so it was okay. 5. Now, I think many of us enjoy a good meme here and there, a funny joke, etc. I, for one, enjoy humor and employ it as a method to both ease my tension and, hopefully, entertain the customer of which I was scanning out at the checkout line. It was a week before Thanksgiving, and I'm sure many retail workers know firsthand how chaotic that time can be, and so much jokes were more prevalent. While I was checking out, my supervisor hands me a frozen turkey, stating that it needs to go back to the meat department, and that she'd take over for me while I go personally deliver it. This is routine, and I thought nothing of it, so I accepted and headed towards the meat department. I arrive at the frozen turkey section and place the turkey down within the freezer. It is then when a friendly old lady walked up to me and asked Excuse me, OP, do these turkeys get any bigger? Remembering a certain meme I found, I chuckle and say, no ma'am, they're dead. She laughs wholeheartedly along with me, and I tell her I'll check with the meat department, since I'm only a cashier, and they'd have a larger turkey for her. She thanks me, and I meet with the meat manager in their cooler, and tell him about the customer. I then retire back to my post on the checkout line. Now after this, I hadn't thought anything of this little interaction. I would have forgotten about it altogether if it wasn't for my manager calling me to her office to talk to me. Apparently, my joke had gotten a complaint from a customer. The customer had told my manager that my joke about dead turkeys was insensitive towards the animal, and that I wouldn't be making those jokes about people, so why should I with turkeys? I totally would, by the way. We both agreed that it was kind of stupid and that I shouldn't have done it, but she did find the joke funny, so I think I got off easy with that one. Now a few hours have gone by, and I am on self-checkout when a lady approaches me. At first she didn't look out of the ordinary from her leather purse, fur coat, and overall Karen-esque appearance, and I met her with my usual cheeriness. "Hello, my name is OP, how may I help you?" I asked. The lady reveals herself as the filer of the complaint, stating that I should have been fired for what I said. I accidentally let out a little chuckle and say, "So it was you." Everything has made sense to me at this point. This lady had overheard my joke with the older lady and taken offense to it. She begins to berate me, saying that if someone were to joke about my death, I wouldn't take kindly to it. I politely retort, "Ma'am, I wouldn't mind because I'd be dead." And she starts fuming. I know I was stirring a hornet's nest, but man, I was having fun. However, even Nostradamus couldn't predict what this lady was about to do. With a smug confidence, she got in my face and said,
"Would you kill me if I was a turkey?"
She then starts doing chicken motions and making chicken noises at me, and I couldn't help myself. I start laughing. And oh man, it was not a gentle laugh either. My sides began to hurt and I couldn't help myself. This Karen just looked so stupid. From the other self-checkout kiosks, I could see customers stifling giggles and pointing towards the chicken Karen. I will call her Choco Karen, because I play too much Final Fantasy and chocobos are like chickens. Choco Karen, now finished with her poultry outburst, repeated her question.
"If I was a turkey, would you kill me?"
While I was enjoying this tirade, all good things must come to an end. So I begrudgingly told her, "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're causing a disturbance for the other customers." What I should have expected was her following wrath, but alas, I did not. How could a woman who had an outburst like that remain calm after being told to leave? Me from the past wasn't that smart. She demanded that I answer her question, and I responded, "No, I wouldn't kill you, but I would call security if you do that again." We did not actually have store security, but it was a little tactic I would use to intimidate people being rowdy. Fortunately, Choco Karen seemed to be deterred, and as she walked towards the door, she began to yell the standard spiel like, "I won't ever shop here again until you get fired," and even called me an animal hater. I have 2 dogs and generally spend more time with people's pets than the person themselves, so that's a lie. I won't forget her last words, though. As she walked out the door, she yelled, "Your soul will burn unless you repent, you animal killer." Now as my tale comes to a close, I can't help but explain the aftermath. A few employees who heard the incident had told a few more employees, and through word of mouth, within an hour everyone in the store knew of my encounter with Choco Karen. I would never see Choco Karen again, so she was true to her word, but I would earn the title of Turkey Bastard, which I wore proudly, until I finally left that position a couple years later. Now as I sit here several years later recalling the events of this story, which I'm sure I've forgotten a few details, I can't help but ask the question, why was someone like Choco Karen in the meat department anyway? Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Adventures in Fast Food and Retail, number 109. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories and sent in stories for use in this video. And before we go on, I'd like to give a special birthday shout out to subscriber Samantha Eversoul. Happy birthday, Samantha. Samantha is 31 today. I hope I'm allowed to say that. And it is, well, I assume I'm allowed to say it because she put it in the request. And yes, you did get it in early enough this time. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Samantha. Happy birthday to you. I'd also like to give a shout out to the author of story number 3. Now, I'm not sure if she wants me to say both of her names, so I'm just going to call her Abby. Thank you very much for sending in your story, Abby. I was the author of the story with the terrible lady with the $4.99 yarn. And for the record, Abby did not call the lady a racist. She was very restrained. That was something that slipped out accidentally while I was narrating. I guess sometimes you've got to call a duck or a turkey. And speaking of racists, which brings me on to the last story, that lady in the final story, I am shocked and stunned that she thought it was appropriate to make chicken noises and chicken gestures when she was referring to a turkey. She is clearly a foul racist. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.